Okay, so today we're going to talk about how do we multiply fractions using the traditional method. So to multiply fractions without an area, an array model or an area model, it's really simple. We just go straight across. So I can multiply 1 times 2 to get 2 and 4 times 3 to get 12. And that's all it is. That's all there is to it. 1 times 2, 4 times 3, multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. So let's look at another example here. 3/8 times 5 6, multiply across the top, 3 times 5, that gets me 15. And 8 times 6 gets me 48. There we go. Not a lot to that. Now I want to review real quick line segments and lines. So a line segment, remember, has a starting and a stopping point. It doesn't go on forever. And the way we would label this is based on the points that were given. We would write the 2 points that were given and then just draw a line over them. For a line, it's very similar, except that on both ends, the line goes on forever. And the way we would label it is, again, both the points that were given, we write those down, we write a line over it, but we include the arrows. Now, array is kind of a combination of the two. It has a starting point, but then it goes on forever in one direction. It doesn't go on forever in both directions, just in one direction. And oftentimes we'll be given 2 points on array, and so we would label it with those 2 points, a line over them, and then an arrow just pointing to whatever direction that the ray goes. So the reason we wanted to talk about rays and line segments is because I'm going to introduce the concept of angles. And actually this should be an A, but I was using an angle to write out the word angles. So let's look at what an angle is. Well, an angle looks like this. It's made up of 2 rays. So we have one ray here, a starting point that goes off forever, and then another starting point which is the exact same starting point that goes off forever as well. Now, the fact that both of these rays have the same point, we call that point the vertex. So where the 2 rays meet is called the vertex. So when we're looking at angles, we're going to see angles that look very similar to this, and they're oftentimes going to have 3 labels or 3 points along them. The vertex will almost always have a label, and then we'll have 2 points along each of the rays. Now, the way we label an angle is we use this symbol for angle, and then we're going to label it based on the points that we have. However, there's a specific order we have to go in. We can start with either the L or the N in our label. So I'm going to start with L. Then the next letter has to be M, and then I finish off with N. The reason I have to write it this way is because my vertex always has to be the middle letter when I'm labeling an angle. So I could actually write this a different way if I start with N. I could say that this is angle NML. I could write it this way, or I could write it this way, as long as my vertex is the middle term in my label.